We are live for game number 2 of today's doubleheader between the Dolphins and the Setters here at the CSI Softball Complex. Pace took game 1 of this doubleheader by the final of 6-0. We are just about to get underway here for game number 2. As always, my name is Nicholas Pavona. I will be bringing you the call here for game number 2 between Pace and CSI. This first pitch from the Dolphins starter Kennedy Ruth misses inside for a ball, 1-0. And we are underway here from the softball complex. The 1-0. Misses on the outside for a ball, 2-0 now the count. Kaylee Matsuda, the batter here for Pace. And she is quickly up in the count, 3-0. Matsuda led off game number 1 as well for the Setters. And he's in good prime position to work a leadoff walk here. And she will get that leadoff walk. So Ruth gets a early walk to start this game. That brings up Alexa Barino. For Kennedy Ruth on the season, this will be her 20th appearance, 13th start. On the year, she is 7-7 with an ERA of 4.04, excuse me. She's allowed 98 hits through 86 2/3 of an inning, 65 runs, 50 of those earned, 39 walks, 44 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .292 against her. Quickly, the count on Barino is 1-0. Different defensive alignment for CSI here in game 2 compared to game 1. Bunt was shown from Barino, but it misses low for ball 2. Barino in game number 1 had 2 singles. Both of those came via bunt. So we know she certainly has capable speed to get on first base. The 2-0 shows bunt again. And it's in there for a strike, 2-1. As we mentioned, after today, the Dolphins go back to conference play. So they're looking for some momentum before they go back into conference play. 2-1, bunted to third. Nice throw from the third baseman Warner in time to record that first out of the inning. Stalker, the second baseman, covered first base on that one. So one down here in the inning. Runner in score position now is Matsuda at second base. I'll bring up Riley Jenkins now. Now misses high for a ball, 1-0. Stop behind the plate from Natalia Kanath. Saving that one from going behind the backstop. The 1-0. Misses on the outside for a ball, 2-0 now the count. As mentioned, after today, CSI will go back to conference play on Friday. They will be in Queens, as they'll take on Queens College. That one in there for a strike now, 2-1 the count. An all-important game for CSI in this one, even if it's not conference play. They really could use some momentum going into those conference games this upcoming weekend. Now one hit to short. Balderas tried to make the tag on the runner at second, but still has enough time to make the throw to first base. So the runner at second is still safe. And how about the heads-up play from Balderas? So you try to tag out Matsuda, who was at second base. Matsuda just got back in safely, and she was still able to get the throw out at first base to get Jenkins out for the second out of the inning. I'll bring up Brianna Shea now with 2 away. Now misses on the outside for a ball, 1-0. Comes the 1-0. That one just misses for a ball. Count goes to 2-0. Dolphins, as I mentioned, lost game number 1. Final score of that game, 6-0. As the Sarahs got all 6 of their runs in that first inning. Now it misses high for ball 3. Quickly is now a 3-0 count. Root's last appearance came against Dewville. Looking for a bounce back start here. Is that one in there for a strike now, 3-1. Be now a 3-1 count here to Shea. And it misses inside for ball 4. So now forces the out at any base here for the Dolphins. As Shea works a 2-out walk. Brings up Willow Poplowski. That one in there for a strike, 0-1. Final stat line for that game 1. Sarah's at 6 runs on 6 hits and the 1 error. Nice off-speed pitch from Ruth there, makes the count 0-2. For the Dolphins, they finished with no runs on 4 hits. They were hitless through the first 3 innings of that game. So that one misses high for ball 1. They were hitless through the first 3 innings against the person on deck for the Sarahs, that being Giselle Garcia. She is on deck if pace can extend the inning here. It's a 1-2. And fouled up behind the plate from Poplowski. So we'll do it again here on 1-2 for Ruth. 1 strike away from getting out of this jam and keeping it scoreless heading into the bottom half of the first inning. The 1-2. That one hit into center. Long run for Carcano. She will make the play and record the final out of the top half of the first inning. As the Senators had 2 runners in position, they will strand those 2 runners as we head to the bottom half of the first. Dolphins coming to bat. Scoreless between the Senators and the Dolphins. Eileen Balderas will lead off here at the bottom half of the first inning. Takes the first pitch ball, 1-0 the count. As Alyssa Smart is the setter's pitcher here for game number 2. Get you her stats in just a moment. Balderas got the Dolphins their first hit of the game in game number 1. That came back in the 4th inning. So misses inside for a ball, 2-0 now the count. Stats for Alyssa Smart on the season. This will be her 7th appearance of the year. Be her 2nd start. She's 2-1 with a ERA of 4.1. Does have a save as well on the season. As Balderas hits this one into center. But playable enough in center field. record the first out right there.
Now batting the center fielder, number 3, Mariah Carcano.
Mariah Carcano now the batter here with 1 away. The rest of Smart's stats on the year: she's pitching 13 2/3 of an inning, has allowed 19 hits, 9 runs, 8 of those earned, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .333 against her. Carcano hits it to right to the circle. Smart will flip it onto first in time for the second out of the inning. Half swing from Carcano leading to that out. Now 2 quick outs here at the bottom of the first. And now bring up Anissa Acosta.
Now batting the first baseman, number 34, Anissa Acosta.
Anissa Acosta had one of the Dolphins' 4 hits in game 1. Goes first pitch swinging, hits it foul, and 1. Setters had 2 runners stranded in the first inning. So retire the Dolphins here in the bottom half of the inning, 1-2-3. Smart misses with that one. The count goes to 1-1. Count now goes to 1-1 here for Smart. As Acosta hits this one into foul territory and out of play. Count now go to 1-2. So Acosta now has a 1-2 count here with 2 away in the inning. Dolphin first baseman trying to extend it here for CSI. As that one messes on the outside, count now even to 2. Here comes now the 2-2 from Smart. That one hits softly to second, going to be a tough play. And Val will flip it onto first base in time to record the final out of this first inning. Dolphins go down 1-2-3 here in the home half of the first. We now head to the top of the second. Scoreless between the Setters and the Dolphins. Giselle Garcia will lead it off here in the top of the second inning. Scoreless game between the Dolphins and the Setters. Garcia got the start of game number 1 as a starting pitcher for Pace. It was perfect through 3 innings. Takes that one inside for a ball, 1-0 the count. She was then replaced by Priscilla Del Toro. Del Toro would finish the shutout for the Setters in game 1. Garcia hits this one to right field, but right there is Whalen to record the first out of the inning. Whalen in the right place at the right time for that one. So after a loud out number 1, that brings up Jenny Gordon, the catcher here for game number 2. And Gordon will take that one on the inside for a ball, 1-0. Comes the 1-0 from Ruth. That one hits softly foul behind the plate. Count goes to 1-1. Now for Pace, after today, they will be back home. That one hit softly into the infield, caught by Balderas, the shortstop, and there's now 2 away in the inning.
Now batting the left fielder, number 25, Aubrey Carroll.
That'll bring up Aubrey Carroll now at 2 away. Now I mentioned after today, correction actually for this one, Pace will go back on the road tomorrow. They'll be in Flushing to take on Queens College. Opponent very familiar with the Dolphins, obviously, in East Coast Conference play. Then after that, the Dolphins will meet the Knights on Friday in Flushing for 2 pivotal conference games. As Aubrey Carroll is up in the count 2-0. Yeah, look where the standings are right now for the ECC with those 2 teams. Queens on the year 5-5 in conference play. The Dolphins are 4-8. Keep in mind, the Dolphins came into today tied with Mercy for that final spot in the standings. But with Mercy's loss earlier today in game 1 of their doubleheader, the Dolphins now have jumped into fourth place. As we saw Mercy lose that game 14-8 in extra innings against Malloy. They are currently underway for game number 2. 3-1 now the count here for Ruth. And it misses low for ball 4. So Carroll works herself a 2-out walk. Now I'll bring up Sophie Val.
Now batting the second baseman, number 21, Sophie Val.
Count on 1-1. The 0-1 from Ruth. In there for a strike now, 0-2. Here's the 0-2, and Ruth misses high for ball 1. One, 2 now the count here for Ruth. And Val hits a slow dribble to first base. Costa will apply the tag on Val and record the foul out of the top of the second inning. Sarah Strand a runner on first base here in the second. We head to the home half of the second inning. Dolphins and Setters tied scoreless. Bottom half of the second inning here at the CSI Softball Complex. Scoreless game between Pace and the Dolphins. As Olivia Wanser will lead it off here for CSI. Did not get the start in game number 1. An impact here at game 2. Takes that one on the outside for a ball, 1-0. Dolphins will have 4, 5, and 6 up here in the home half of the second. And Wanzer hits this one into left center field. Long run, but a great job in center field. A long run out there for Alyssa Barrino. And there's one away. Wanzer gave that one a good drive into left center, but Barrino was able to track that one down for a loud out number 1. Now bring up Olivia Warner. Warner had a hit in game number 1. Gets to start today at third base. Takes that one for a strike, 0-1. Smart looks at the wristband, the 0-1. In there for a strike now, 0-2. Warner quickly now behind the count, 0-2 here. Smart looking to get 2 straight outs to start this inning. On the outside for a ball, 1-2 now the count. Dolphins were retired 1-2-3 in the first inning, looking for their first base runner here early on in this game. Comes the 1-2 from Smart. That one misses on the outside for a ball, 2-2 now the count. That'll be a 2-2 now from Smart. And it's hit foul behind the plate, remains 2-2. Do it again here on 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 from Smart. An off-speed pitch misses high for ball 3. The count now is full, 3-2. Full count, 3-2 here for Warner. That one hit down the first base line in foul territory. And now it remains 3-2. So once again, another 3-2 coming up to Warner here. One away in the inning. We'll do it again, 3-2. Comes the pitch from Smart. Now we head down the third base line, and what a catch at third base by Brianna Shea to record the second out of the inning. That one was hit on a rope from Warner, and Shea had to get her glove down and just make that catch to record the second out of the inning. That brings up Natalia Kanoth now with 2 away. Kanoth getting the start once again behind the plate for the Dolphins. Takes that one for a strike, 0-1. Be an 0-1 here from Smart to Kanoth. A big swing and a miss. The Dolphin catcher now makes it 0-2. Smart now 1 strike away from a second straight 1-2-3 inning. Comes the 0-2 from Smart. This is on the outside for a ball, 1-2 now the count. Now 1-2 count here from Smart. Looks at the wristband. Gets a sign. Here comes the 1-2. And an off-speed pitch is on the outside corner for strike 3. As Kanoth is down looking to retire the final out of the second inning. Dolphins go down 1-2-3 here in the second. We head to the top of the third. Scoreless between the Senators and the Dolphins. Kaylee Matsuda will lead it off here in the top of the third. Still scoreless between the Dolphins and the Setters. Back to the top of the lineup for Pace here. Both teams still in search of their first hit of this game. Matsuda shows bunt, and there for a strike 0-1. The 0-1 from Ruth. Saw popper. And Kosick is not able to make the play down the first base line. The count goes to 0-2. So Ruth in the driver's seat early. 0-2 now the count here to Matsuda. And she misses high for a ball. 1-2 now the count. Sarahs have had a couple runners on base so far in this game via the walk. As I mentioned, both teams still in search of their first hit. The 1-2 just misses inside. Count evens now at 2. That was the 1-2. Fly ball into right. Long run for Whalen. It falls in front of her for a base hit. First hit of the game belongs to the Setters. As it's Matsuda on with a leadoff single. Alyssa Burrito now the batter here for Pace. We've seen Burrito already today. Bunting on a couple of occasions. He's gotten 2 singles out of it. Expect the bunt here once again. She does show bunt. Goes to third. Warner will have to throw it to first base in time. Stalker makes the play, but an ill-advised throw from Stalker now will allow Matsuda to go to third. So that's going to be an E4 in the Dolphins right there. As Matsuda was into first base safely. That will allow her now go to third. On the error throw from Stalker, who was playing first base. And now a great opportunity here for Riley Jenkins. She has a runner on third base and still only 1 out in the inning. That one misses on the outside for a ball, 1-0. One 0 count now here for Ruth. Misses low for a ball, 2-0 now the count. Now, this situation, a walk wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing for Ruth. Obviously, we know it is tough to turn double plays here at the softball complex, but could force a double play in effect. Dolphins have their infield in. So that one's in there for a strike now, 2-1. It'll be now a 2-1 here to Jenkins. And misses inside for ball 3. 3-1 now the count here for Ruth. Brianna Shea on deck for Pace. 3-1. That one in there for a strike. As Jenkins was on her way to first base. He's not happy with the call there. And the count now goes full to 3-2. So a huge pitch now for Ruth upcoming here. Full count 3-2 with 1 away in the inning. And Jenkins will hit that one foul. We'll do it once again here, 3-2. Huge pitch right here for both Ruth and Jenkins. And that one hit to third and through for a base hit. Riley Jenkins will deliver an RBI single, bring it home Matsuda. And Pace strikes first here at the top of the third. They lead this one 1-0. Tough break right there for Kennedy Ruth and company. As the error will cost the Dolphins a run here early on the third inning. That will bring up Brianna Shea. Misses high for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. This is for a ball now, 2-0 the count. So Shea quickly in the driver's seat early on this at bat. 2-0 now the count. And she swings and misses on that one, was given the green light. Count goes to 2-1. Ruth would love to limit the damage to just one run here in the inning. Give her team a chance to tie it in the bottom half. The 2-1. Slow roll to third and goes under the glove of Warner and into left field. And most likely will go down as the Dolphins' second error, and it will. It looked like maybe it took a weird bounce down that third base line. So that allows Shea to go into second base. Jenkins goes to third. And it's now second and third, still one out here in the inning. Warner, a tough break right there, was in position to make the play. As I mentioned, it did look like it took a weird bounce. Glove was down regardless, so E5 on the play for the Dolphins. Second and third, still one out. First base is open. The batter now to the play is Willa Poplawski. Dolphins will have their infielders in a little bit. Looks like from the camera point of view, the left side, have the infield in. Costa at first base is in. And Stalker plays normal defensive alignment here. That one chopped down, foul toward the Dolphin dugout. So Ruth now a strike away from an all-important second out here in the inning. And now the Dolphins certainly will love to have. It'll be now an 0-2 to Poplawski. She hits this one to second. Stalker will have one play. She'll flip it to Acosta. Now I'll bring home Jenkins on the ground out. And Pace now has a 2-0 lead. And having the Dolphins, having Stalker in that normal defensive alignment, most likely safe CSI right there. Have to wonder if they had the infield in, would that have gone through for a base hit? That one skips in the dirt, but it did not take a good bounce for the pace for the setter's way. Count goes to 1-0 for Giselle Garcia. Two away in the inning, runner on third is Brianna Shea, and the batter is Giselle Garcia. The 1-0. That one hit foul. Count goes to 1-1. I think if you're Kennedy Ruth and company, if you can limit this to 2 runs. If you limit this to 2 runs, the Dolphins certainly would take that. So what happened in game 1? Give up 6 in the first inning. Did not allow a run ever after that. Now misses high and inside for a ball 2. 2-1 now the count. 2 bases open as well in this spot. So walk would not be the worst thing here for Ruth, if anything. Count is right now 2-1. And it skips in the dirt for ball 3. And Ruth now behind the count 3-1. Jenny Gordon on deck for Pace if the inning were to continue. It'll be now a 3-1 here from Ruth. That one hit a mile high in the infield. Balderas will call everyone off. She'll make the play and retire the side. But not before the Setters get 2 runs on 2 hits, accompanied by 2 Dolphin errors here in this third inning. We head to the bottom of the third. Pace leads this one, 2-0. bottom half of the third inning here at the CSI Softball Complex. A now 2-0 lead for Pace. They were able to get 2 runs on 2 hits, as well as 2 Dolphin errors. As Victoria Whale will lead it off here in the home half of the third. Takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Dolphins in search of their first base hit of this game. As Whalen quickly up in the count, 2-0. Comes the 2-0 from Smart. Now one on the outside for a strike. Now 2-1. Seven, 8, and 9 here in the inning for CSI. 2-1. Now one chopped to second. Val will throw it on to first in time for the first out of the inning. Now I'll bring up Alyssa Acosta now here with 1 away.
Now batting the left fielder, number 12, Alyssa Acosta.
Acosta getting the start in left field in game number 2. You know, she is certainly capable of getting a potential infield single. Right side of the Sarah's infield is in. Acosta hits this one foul. That goes to 0-1. Comes the 0-1. Upcoming here from Smart. That one hit into right field. And that one is caught out in right field for the second out. As Poplowski originally came in to make the play. They had to step back to record that out. I'll bring up Amanda Stalker now with 2 away in the inning. First 8 Dolphin hitters have been retired. Same result happened in game number 1. Stalker looking to correct that wrong here now. She hits the first pitch, and it will be out of play. Count goes to 0-1. Stalker getting the start at second base here today in game number 2. Try to get CSI their first base runner of the game here in the third inning with 2 away. Smart gets her sign. Here comes the 0-1. That one again hit into foul territory. Count goes to 0-2. So Stalker quickly behind the count here, 0-2. Smart 1 strike away from retiring the first 9 batters of this game. Here comes the 0-2. Misses way outside for a ball. 1-2 now the count. Count now 1-2 here for Stalker. Smart gets her sign from the dugout. We'll now look at her wristband. And she'll be getting ready here for the 1-2 pitch. Half swing. They say that Stalker did not go. This count now evens at 2. If Stalker can extend the inning for the Dolphins, they'll go back to the top of the lineup. With Balderas on deck. Here comes the 2-2 from Smart. That one hit over the shortstop and through for a base hit. As Matsuda was not able to make the play, it takes a 1 bounce off the wall. And into second base with a double is Amanda Stalker here with 2 away in the inning. And that will now bring the tying run up to the plate for CSI. Eileen Balderas will come up to the plate. And a great at bat right there from Stalker. Down 0-2 early in the count. Worked the count even to 2-2. Got a good pitch to hit into left center field for a double. Dolphins get their first base runner as well as their first base hit of this game. Now Eileen Balderas has a chance to potentially give them their first run of this game. And she hits this one off the glove of Matsuda and into left field for a base hit. Stalker will hold up at third base as Balderas is into first with the two-out single. Back-to-back two-out hits for the Dolphins. And now they bring the go-ahead run to the plate in Mariah Carcano. Two straight tough plays for the shortstop Matsuda. The first one going over her head and had no chance of making the play against Stalker. That previous play going off of her glove and into left field. Now Mariah Carcano with a huge opportunity to get the Dolphins their first run right here. Takes that one in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Corner infield is playing in. The potential dribbler for Carcano here. We know she has speed to reach first base safely on an infield hit. Comes the 1-0. Hit chop to Val. She will throw it onto first base in time and retire the side. As the Dolphins strand two runners on base here in the third inning. We head to the top of the fourth. Pace leads this one, 2-0. Top of the fourth inning here at the CSI Softball Complex. Pace leads this one 2-0. And catcher Jenny Gordon will lead it off here for the Setters in the top of the fourth. That last inning, Pace was able to get 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 errors from the Dolphins. Take this early 2-0 lead. CSI had a great chance that previous half inning to bring home a run. But a ground out ended the potential threat. Keeps this game 2-0 as Gordon hits this one a long way into right field. Long run for Whalen. It's over her head and off the wall for a base hit. Gordon's rounding second. She will head into third base. The throw to third base from Stalker, not in time. It's a lead-off triple from Jenny Gordon here to lead off the fourth. And a great start to the inning for the Setters as they now have their third base hit of this game. A long way of a run for Whalen out in right field. As that ball just kept carrying into right field. It allows Gordon now get into third base. Now the Dolphin infield will have to play in. Try to prevent that third run from scoring. As Aubrey Carroll comes up and has an early 1-0 count. The 1-0. Blooper up in the infield. And Ruth is going to be the one that makes the play for the first out of the inning. That brings up Sophie Val now a 1 away. She delivered in game 1 with a 2-run single. Looking to bring home that runner from third here. First pitch to Val inside, misses for a ball, 1-0 the count. Ruth trying to escape damage here. Keep that third run from scoring. Just now behind the count here, 2-0. After Val, it's back to the top of the lineup for the Setters. Kaylee Matsuda is on deck. 2-0. Misses high for ball 3. And Ruth is quickly behind the count now 3-0. First base is open as well as second. It'll be now 3-0 from Ruth. That one in there for a strike, now 3-1. Ruth was able to record the first out on a pop-up in the infield. She gets another one right here. We'll strand the runner at third. That will hit down the first base line, but foul. After being down 3-0 in the count now, Ruth has now worked the count full. 3-2 now. So a huge pitch up coming now here from Ruth against Val. If she can get a strikeout, it'll be huge out number 2. She's got a 3-2 count here with one away in the inning. Goes to 3-2 from Ruth. And try to fool her on that off-speed pitch, but it misses high for ball 4. And Val is on first base safely with the walk. Tie is being called at the plate. We might have a potential. Going to have a pitch runner. There's Jenny Gordon. The catcher is going to be pitch ran for at third base. I believe it's going to be Rael Gorman. I believe it's going to be Rael Gorman that's going to sub in as a pinch runner. Gorman, remember, in game 1, originally thought she was going to be pitch running for first base. She would go to third base to pitch run for Gordon, the catcher. Gorman was the one that was hit by the pitch in game number 1 and had to be replaced immediately after that the top half of the first inning. She now is on third. On first base is Val. Now brings up Matsuda. Shows bunt in the dirt for a ball. They throw to third base to get the runner in time, but Gorman's back in safely. Meanwhile, on that play, Val goes into second base with ease to get the stolen base. So now 2 runners in scoring position here for the Setters. And erases any double play ball now for the Dolphins. So that misses on the outside for a ball. 2-0 now the count. With that stolen base now, that leaves first base open in the spot for Ruth. Does have a base to give, but it would load the bases with Barino on deck. That one just misses for a ball, and it's now regression. They called that one a strike, so it's count 2-1. So we got 2-1 now from Ruth. Chop to third, off of Warner's glove on the dive attempt, and there will be no play. So Matsuda's going to get on with an infield single. And that will be the third run of the game now for the Setters. They lead this one 3-0. Hit batter right there, Barino. She was showing bunt on that one. That will now load the bases.
Number 33, Brian Jenkins.
Riley Jenkins comes up now with the bases loaded. The Setters now have a great opportunity right here to open up this game. Dolphins will have their infield in. Any potential ground ball will go right to home plate. The 0-1. Hit down the third baseline foul, 0-2. So brief discussion on the play at third base from Warner was a hit or an error. Not the first time, won't be the last time we have one of those conversations here at softball. Warner gave a good diving attempt to make the play, but went off of her glove. The 0-2 hit a mile high into shallow left field, and the catch is made out in left field from Acosta to make the second out. Acosta pretty much had to go all the way out into the infield to make that catch, as all runners will have to stay put where they are. So a huge second out recorded from Ruth right there, and it brings up Brianna Shea. Force at any base for the Dolphins here. Line drive into right field, through for a base hit. Here comes the second runner. Matsuda's in safely. Shea will advance to second on the throw to home. It's going to be a 2-run single for Brianna Shea there, and it gives the Setters now a 5-0 lead. Shea with that line drive just past the glove of Stalker at second base. Able to bring home 2 runs on that hit, as well as getting to second base on the throw. And now 5-0 lead for Pace. Down misses high for a ball, 1-0. Willow Poplowski is the batter. Pace is now attacked for 5 runs on 5 hits. The 1-0. Hit to Warner at third. She will throw it on to Acosta at first base in time to record the final out of the inning. But not before the Setters attack for 3 more runs here in the fourth. We head to the home half of the fourth inning. Pace leads this one, 5-0. First pitch swinging from Nisa Acosta here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Goes foul for 0-1. And now 5-0 lead for Pace here in the fourth. 5 runs on 5 hits is accompanied by 2 Dolphin errors. The Dolphins will have 3, 4, and 5 here in the fourth. As Acosta hits this one to left field, might drop in. It does for a base hit. As Carroll out in left field was playing deep. Sometimes have to do that when you're facing a batter like Acosta, who has home run power. Acosta was able to take advantage and get that bloop single out into left field for the Dolphins' 3rd hit now of the game. Brings up Olivia Wanser now. As Dolphins try to inch their way back into this game. Now misses on the outside for a ball, 1-0 the count. Errant throw goes past Smart. Acosta will not think about it at first base. The 1-0. Chopped up the middle, could be 2. Goes off of Matsuda, and she's still able to make the play at second base. It went off of Matsuda on the bounce, and was still able to make the flip over to second base for Val. And they get the first out of the inning. So a fielder's choice right there to record the first out brings up now Olivia Warner. With 1 away here in the fourth. First pitch to Warner misses on the outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Smart gets the sign. Here comes the 1-0. Warner hits this one to second. Could be 2. 4, 6, 3. They do turn the double play this time. Val to Matsuda over to first base to Jenkins to record the final 2 outs of this 4th inning. Dolphins trying a runner here in the 4th. We head to the top of the 5th. Pace leads this one, 5-0. Giselle Garcia will lead off here in the bottom of the 5th. She goes first pitch swinging. Hits it to Warner and a low throw, but a great scoop at first base from Acosta. Records the first out of the 5th. So Giselle Garcia retired early here in the 5th inning. Brings up Jenny Gordon. Gordon got that 4th inning started with the leadoff triple. That'd be pitch run later in the inning by Rael Gorman. Goes up a 1 away here in the 5th. She goes first pitch swinging, and it just goes foul down the third base line, 0-1. Sarahs have attacked for 5 runs in these previous 2 innings. 2 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th. So off-speed pitch from Ruth. Got Gordon to chase out in front on that one. Just hits it foul. Count goes to 0-2. But now an 0-2 here from Ruth. Misses high for a ball. 1-2 now the count. Comes now the 1-2 from Ruth. And that one's on the outside for strike 3. Gordon down looking for the out there. And there's now 2 away here in the 5th. I'll bring up Aubrey Carroll now with 2 away. It's Ruth looking for a 1-2-3 5th inning here. Try to spark some momentum for the Dolphins here in the late stages of this game. As Carroll swings and misses for a strike, 0-1. Goes the 0-1. Big swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch from Ruth, and it's now 0-2. Now an 0-2 here for Ruth, looking for a 1-2-3 inning. And it just misses on the outside for a ball. 1-2 now the count. Now 1-2 here from Ruth to Carroll. Hit down toward the Dolphin dugout, foul. Remains 1-2. Remains 1-2 here. Comes the pitch from Ruth. Slow roll to short. Balderas onto Acosta in time. Or was it in time as Acosta had to come off the bag? That will go down as another error for the Dolphins.
Now batting the second baseman, number 21, Sophie Saul.
So third error of the game right there for CSI, and he's 6 on Balderas. That will extend the inning for the Setters. So that one in there for a strike 0-1. Sophie Val, the batter here for Pace. The 0-1. This is low for a ball. 1-1 now the count. The 1-1. Val hits this one up the middle. Nice play from Ruth. Had to jump up and grab that one, and she throws it off to Acosta in time for the final out of the 5th inning. As the center stranded runner on base here in the 5th, we head to the home half of the 5th inning. Dolphins trail this one, 5-0. Bottom half of the 5th inning here at the CSI Softball Complex. 5-0 lead for Pace. Talia Kanath would lead off for the Dolphins here to try to inch their way back into this game. This first pitch from Smart misses for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. Hit high in the infield, right towards the circle, and caught by Smart for the first out of the inning. So one quick out here in the home half of the 5th.
Now batting the right
We'll
fielder,
bring up Victoria Whalen.
Victoria Whalen.
First pitch to Whalen. This is on the outside for a ball, 1-0 the count. Be a 1-0 now here to Whalen. Misses low for ball 2. Quickly Whalen up in the driver's seat, 2-0. So Costa on deck for the Dolphins. 2-0. Misses on the outside for ball 3. See, I'm curious if they will give Whalen the green light. They are down 5. Whalen has a 3-0 count. See what they do here on 3-0. Does not give the green light. Doesn't have to, as Whalen works a 4-pitch walk. So Whalen reaches first base, brings up now Alyssa Acosta.
Now batting the left fielder, number 12, Alyssa Acosta.
So the last inning, the Setters were able to turn an inning double play. They would love to do it once again here. Hale on the run right first. Acosta now the batter for the Dolphins here, one away in the inning. The first pitch from Smart. This is inside for a ball, 1-0. Quick conference now at the circle for the setters. Smart has missed the last 5. That one hit foul down the left field line. That one misses for ball 3. Count is 2-1. Originally had 3-1. 2-1. And there for a strike now, 2-2. Two now the count here to Acosta, a 1 away in the inning. Smart gets a sign from the dugout. He'll deliver the 2-2 pitch. Hit to short, could be a double play again. Matsuda to Val. They will not get it in time this time, as Acosta is able to reach first base safely. So they do get the 6-4 put out at second base. It's now 2 away in the inning, and it brings up Amanda Stalker. Stalker got the Dolphins' first hit of the game. Her first time up in the 3rd inning. Delivered a double. We'll have to try to keep the inning going for CSI here with 2 away once again. She hits this one up the middle, and it's through for a base hit. Amanda Stalker now is 2 for 2 on the day. She gets a base hit up the middle, and it sends the inning for CSI. They'll go now back to the top of the order, bring up Eileen Balderas. Balderas got a single her last time up as well. Dolphins would love another 2-out hit right here to bring home Acosta home from second. Give them their first run of the day. That one hit a mile high, but into foul territory. Count goes 0-1. If you're the Dolphins, is there any person you want up at the plate right now to bring home a run? Certainly Balderas. Balderas trying to get the Dolphins' 5th hit of this game. Bring home the first run. The 0-1. That one hit foul. Count quickly 0-2. So Smart now 1 strike away from working out of this jam and preserving her shutout for another inning. Quickly up in the count here, 0-2. Let's see if she tries to make Balderas chase at something here. Here comes the 0-2. That one hit into center field. Long run, and it is caught in center field. Barino with a long run makes the catch and records the final out of the 5th inning. It looked like the Dolphins had extra bases right there from the Balderas hit, but Barino makes the catch to record that final out. We head now to the top half of the 6th inning. Looks like the Dolphins will have a pitching change as well. They lead this one 5-0. Timeout being called currently at the plate here in the top half of the sixth. Keely Matsuda is the batter. Will be back to the top of the order for the Setters here. They'll be facing a new pitcher, as I mentioned before we went to break. Is Kelsey Strayer out here for the sixth inning. Misses that one for a ball 1-0. For Strayer, this will be her 13th appearance of the season. She's currently 2-2 on the year with a 5.16 ERA. She's pitched 19 innings of work, has allowed 28 hits, 14 runs, all of them earned, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .337 against her. This count now goes to 1-1 on Matsuda. So the other change that we've noticed also is Bridget Motley is behind the plate for the Dolphins as Matsuda hits this one to third. Nice diving play from Warner. She throws on to first, but it's not in time. That will go down as an infield single right there for Matsuda. The sixth Setters hit of this game. So I'll bring up Alexa Barrino. As I mentioned, Motley now behind the plate. You usually see her at third base. She is capable as well as playing catcher. She replaces Knopf behind the plate. Bunch shown from Barrino. The throw to second base from Motley is not in time, and Matsuda's in with a stolen base. Count 1-0 for Barrino here. Does show bunt once again and hits it towards the circle. Warner will throw it to first and not in time as Barrino's on with an infield single. No one's covering second right now for the Dolphins. Carcano holds the ball. And we have a rundown still. Carcano is still checking the runner at third. She now throws to second, and they do get the out. As we now have conversation between Pace and the umpire. And we might have to watch the replay for that one, Seth, to see the official scoring for that one. Carcano makes the out. Threw it to the second baseman, Stalker, at second. The question is, what was the throws before that?
Now batting the first baseman, number 33, Riley.
Riley Jenkins, the batter here with one away and a runner on third. Hits that one foul and 1. So a very unusual out number 1 to start this inning. Matsuda now is at third base. But Barrino was thrown out at second. It's the off-speed pitch in there for a strike 0-2. It'll be now an 0-2 here from Strayer. That one hit towards first and through for a base hit. Jenkins just reaches first base safely as Whalen almost threw her out from right field. RBI single right there from Jenkins. And it's now a 6-0 lead for the Setters. Now their 8th hit of this game. Another big hit from Jenkins here on the day. He's on Brianna Shea. She hits that one foul, 0-1. Comes the 0-1 from Strayer. That one in there for a strike, 0-2. So Shea quickly behind the count here, 0-2. As the 0-2 from Strayer misses high for a ball. 1-2 now the count. Brings us now to a 1-2 count here for Strayer to Shea. That one hit into left field. Acosta's there, makes the play, records the second out of this inning. Having to retreat to first base is Jenkins. There's now 2 away here in the 6th. Willow Poplowski now the batter for the Setters. First pitch from Poplowski. This is inside for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1 the count. This is for a ball, 2-1. And now 2-1 count here. Misses for, excuse me, it's in there for a strike now. The count evens at 2. The 2-2 now from Strayer. Hits softly up the middle and through for a base hit. Jenkins will hold up at second base. It's a soft base hit right there for Poplowski to extend the inning here for the Setters and bring up Giselle Garcia. The 9th hit now of the game for Pace. Strayer gets that first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Be an 0-1 from Strayer to Garcia. A big swing and a miss. As Garcia was out in front on that one. The count goes to 0-2. It'll be now an 0-2 to Garcia. And misses high for ball 1, 1-2. One and two now the count here from Strayer to Garcia. That one's hit into right field. And it'll be Stalker, the one calls off Whalen. Makes the catch and records the final out of the 6th inning. But not before the Setters get another run here in the top of the 6th. We now head to the home half of the 6th inning. Pace leads this one, 6-0. All right, Carcano leads it off here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. 0-1 count. Showed bunt and misses for a ball, 1-1. Dolphins will have 2, 3, and 4 here in the sixth inning. They now trail at 6-0. As we're able to get another run in the previous half inning. This is Smart now. 6 outs away from a complete game shutout. The 1-1. It's softly fouled toward the center dugout. And it's now 1-2. Comes the 1-2 from Smart. And misses high for ball 2. Two now the count here for Smart. And misses low for ball 3. So Carcano now has a full count, 3-2 here. Dolphins looking for a late rally here in the late stages of this game. They now trail 6-0. The 3-2 for Smart. Grounder to Val at second. She'll throw it on to Jenkins at first, and there's one away. I'll bring up Anissa Acosta.
Now batting the first baseman, number 34, Anissa Acosta.
Anissa Acosta takes that first pitch for a ball on the outside corner, 1-0. Comes the 1-0. Hard grounder to third. Nice play at third base is made from Shea. And she will make the throw to first base in time for the second out of the inning. Richard looked like she was shaken up on the play, but does seem to be fine. Olivia Wanzer now comes up with 2 away in the inning. Unfortunately for the Dolphins, another hard hit ground ball. Just once again, the Stars are able to make another great defensive play. CSI now down to their final 4 outs in this game. Wanzer comes up now here with 2 away in the inning. And that one misses low on the inside for a ball, 1-0. Quick 1-0 count here for Wanzer. The 1-0. This is high outside for a ball, 2-0 now the count. We now 2-0 to the Dolphins' designated player. And there for a strike now, 2-1. Now a 2-1 upcoming here from Smart to Wanzer. And Wanzer will call time at the plate. Count remains 2-1. And Wanzer hits this one foul behind the plate, evens the count at 2. And 2-2. Misses on the outside corner for ball 3. It's now a full count here, 3-2 for Wanzer. Comes now the 3-2 pitch from Smart to Wanzer. Now it misses on the outside for ball 4. It's a 2-out walk forced by Wanser, and it brings up Olivia Warner.
Now batting the third baseman, number 42, Olivia Warner.
Dolphin third baseman trying to extend the inning here for CSI. Now Wanser on first base. She swings and misses on the ball in the dirt for a strike. Gordon checks the runner on first with a throw to first, but Wanser is back in safely. The 0-1. Swung on a miss for strike 2. And Warner quickly is behind the count 0-2. Smart now 1 strike away from 6 straight shutout innings. Here comes the 0-2. Misses on the outside for a ball, 1-2 now the count. One and two now the count from Smart. And it's fouled off by Warner. Dolphins looking for a spark here late. Still 1-2 the count here to Warner. Comes the 1-2. And it's swung on a miss for strike 3. As Smart gets the strikeout for the final out of the home half of the 6th inning. Dolphins try to runner here in the home in the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. Pace leads this one, 6-0. Top of the 7th inning here at the CSI Softball Complex. A 6-0 lead for the Setters. As Pace looks to take both games of this doubleheader here. Jenny Gordon will lead it off. Takes the first pitch ball, 1-0 the count. As Kelsey Strayer gets another inning of relief for CSI. Setters took game 1, 6-0. Gordon hits this one foul behind the plate, 1-1. Time being called at the plate. As more softballs are retrieved. Count goes to 1-1. The 1-1. In there for a strike now, 1-2. The 1-2. Hit towards second, and it's through for a base hit. No play for Stalker there. As Jenny Gordon's on with her second hit of the game. A leadoff single to start off the 7th inning. They'll bring up Aubrey Carroll. Shows bunt. Hits it to Warner. She'll throw it on to first. And Stalker is there to make the out. Advancing to second base is Gordon on the sacrifice bunt, and there's now one away. We're going to have a pinch hitter now here in the 7th inning. It's Madison Paserno now is the batter. Changes will be made. The announcement of Paserno getting entered into the game.
Now batting, number 44, Madison Paserno. Thank you, Blue.
So Paserno now in here with one away. An RBI chance with a runner on second. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. On deck is Kaylee Matsuda, back to the top of the lineup for the Setters. The 0-1. This is for a ball 1-1. Gordon is another half run towards third, goes back to second. As Paserno swings and misses to make the count 1-2. So Paserno now down the count 1-2 here to Strayer. She gets that one foul. Inside on the hands on that one. The count will remain 1-2. As we mentioned, after today, the Dolphins' next games will be Friday. They will be taking on Queens College. Crucial doubleheader with the Knights on that one. Salamis is high for a ball now, 2-2. Paserno now has a 2-2 count. Half swing, did she go? And she did go around. That's strike 3. So Paserno down on strikes. 2 away now in the inning. It's back to the top of the lineup. Kaylee Matsuda, the batter. As I mentioned, the Dolphins will be in Flushing on Friday against Queens College. Crucial doubleheader with the Knights. And they will be at Malloy on Saturday for a doubleheader with the Lions. They return back here to the softball complex on Sunday for a non-conference doubleheader with the Tigers of Holy Family University. As for Pace, they will be playing tomorrow in Flushing. They will take on Queens College in a non-conference doubleheader. In a moment, I will pull up the baseball schedule. Let you know what the baseball team is doing this coming weekend. Matsuda's quickly down the count 0-2. And that off-speed pitch fools her for strike 3. Matsuda down looking to record the final out of the top half of the 7th inning. As the Setters strand a runner here in the 7th, we head to the home half of the 7th inning. Dolphins down to their final 3 outs. They trail this one 6-0. Home half of the 7th inning here at the CSI Softball Complex. Dolphins down to their final 3 outs in this one. They trail at 6-0. As Alyssa Smart comes out, try to get the complete game shutout. And she will face Bridget Molly for the first time here today. Misses on the outside for a ball, 1-0. A rare 19 versus 19 battle here. Molly entered as a defensive substitution, placing Natalia Knopf. The 1-0. Chopped up the middle. Matsuda is there. Will she make the throw off in time? She does not. We'll have to see what they score that one.
Now batting the right fielder, number 26, Victoria Whalen.
So they're going to mark that as a base hit for Modley up the middle. That brings up now Victoria Whalen. Count right now 1-0 to Whalen. Chop down the third baseline foul, 1-1. Promise in the last half inning we would bring up the baseball schedule. As well, baseball has a crucial 4-game series this upcoming week at Buffalo. 4-game set with the Saints up to Uville University. Count is 0-2 to Whalen. Dolphins will play 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday. The final game that's set on Sunday. The 0-2 to Whalen. Misses on the outside, 1-2. Next time they will be back here will be Senior Day on the 27th against Malloy. Here goes the 1-2 to Whalen. Off-speed pitch just misses high for ball 2. The count now even to 2-2. Molly at first. 2-2 count out here for Smart to the Dolphin right fielder Whalen. Here comes the 2-2. Misses low for ball 3. It's now a full count, 3-2. Dolphins certainly would be happy to get a walk right here. Try to get this no-out rally going. It'll be now a 3-2 from Smart. And it misses low for ball 4. So Whalen is able to work the walk. And it'll be first and second, still nobody out in the inning. It'll lead to a conference in the circle for the setters upcoming here. As Alyssa Acosta now comes up. And don't look now, but if the Dolphins can get some momentum going here with still nobody out in the inning, they can make some of these things interesting in the late part of this game. Still down to their final 3 outs. Acosta right here has first and second. Hits this one softly to second. Could be 2. Foul to Matsuda over to first. Not in time. As Acosta just runs it out. So it's a 4-6 putout at second base. 1 away now here in the 7th inning. Brings up Amanda Stalker. Stalker's had the most success today all for Smart. Has 2 hits in this game already. A third would bring the Dolphins their first run of the game. They're now down to their final 2 outs. And she swings and misses on that one, 0-1. After Stalker, it's back to the top of the lineup for CSI. They would like to get a big hit right here, keep it with 1 out. The 0-1. Half swing, but Stalker did not go fully around. The count goes to 1-1. Goes now the 1-1 from Smart. She hits this one. Stalker into left field. The catch is made out and left. Here comes Motley from third base. She will score. The throw to first base is wild, and that will allow Acosta to go to second base. And she's out at second base, and that will do it. Acosta is thrown out at second for the final out of this game. A very unusual final out of this game as the Dolphins fall in this one 6-1. The sacrifice fly does come in to score for CSI, but Acosta is thrown out at second on the wild throw from left field. And a good throw at first base from Jenkins. Get it over to second to get Acosta out for the final out of this one. As the Sarahs take both games of this doubleheader here today at the softball complex. Winning game 2 6-1. They get their 24th win now of the season. And the Dolphins do drop these 2 games, and now they go into big conference matchups this upcoming weekend. On Friday in Flushing against Queens, and then Saturday at Malloy. 4 pivotal conference matchups coming up with the Dolphins for this upcoming weekend as well. And they will be back here on Sunday for non-conference play against the Tigers of Holy Family University. So that will be the next time we will be live here on the ECC Network here on CSI Sportsnet this upcoming Sunday between the Tigers of Holy Family University and the College Staten Island Dolphins. But from all of us here on CSI Sportsnet, this has been the conclusion of our Game 2 broadcast. Once again, the final score of Game 2, the Sarahs 6 and the Dolphins 1. We'll see you on Sunday for the matchup between the Tigers and the Dolphins.